Hello again, I am Jim Bob. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Big Bud Farm. First in a new Let's Play series, and this is going to be a series with a difference. This is going to be a series running very heavily edited episodes where you're going to have a lot of footage sort of cut out and bits blended together because of the size of the map and the size of the fields that we're going to be working on. It means that there's going to be a lot of very repetitive footage where, you know, a single job could take half a dozen episodes or more. You know, a simple harvesting job, harvesting a single field, could take upwards of 10 episodes depending on the field. So there is going to be a lot of editing in this series. Just to make it a little bit more manageable for you, we will sort of jump in and out of jobs as they are taking place. But as I said, this is Big Bud Farm. It's time to go big or go home. So let's take a look at what we're going to be using. You can already see I have a 450 there. I actually have two 450s. These are my two tractors on the farm. You know, 450 number 1 and 450 number 2. That's it so far. You know, this is a hard playthrough. I intend to be running this farm for a very long time, regardless of how long the series itself runs. You know, there's going to be a lot of stuff that I do, between episodes as well. So this is going to be, you know, a long-term farm for me. How long the series runs is another matter. It depends on how popular it is with you guys. Over here we have our auger wagon. We have a Brent Avalanche. Again, sticking with the Go Big theme, we have the largest possible auger available to us, 53,000 litres. And then we have here the Breedle fertilising spreader. Really, really big unit. I haven't really used this in-game that much, and I don't think I've used it on any of my Let's Plays yet. So, be using this. I think it holds something like 12,000 litres of fertiliser pellets. It's going to cost a small fortune to fill up, especially on hard. So it should last us a good long while between refills. Over here we have our truck. We have a Twin Star, and that is pulling two of these BSM 70,000 litre grain trailers. And we are using the brand new, literally only came out a couple of hours ago, the brand new triaxle dolly from Black Sheep Modding that was built specifically for these trailers. Now this is actually available in two configurations. Mine is set up with a centre mounted connection, as you can see right here. You can also configure it so that it has a rear mounted connector, which means it'll be there, which means you'll have more of a gap between the two trailers if you go with the rear setup, meaning that if you tip the grain door all the way up with the 50-degree tip angle, you will no longer collide with the trailer behind you, which was an issue previously before this dolly came out and before they updated the trailer to add the little rear grain door that we have just here. So this bottom panel now, you can see it's hinged here. There is now a second tip option where it goes back to the original 15-degree tip angle, and just this little bottom section here opens as a grain door. So that's our grain sort of transport system over there. And if we jog over to the other part of the home farm over here, you'll see the rest of the equipment that we have as well. Now, I have done the nuggets. I've needed to be able to fund the farm. But there's no modded money in this. There's no cheats or anything like that. You know, everything else is completely legitimate. And I haven't touched the loan either, so it's just the original £100,000 overdraft that we have, $100,000. They still have $200,000 available to us if we need it. So we have two of these Salford 6.2 metre ploughs, so that we can get both of our Big Buds running at the same time on a field. And then we have the Bednar Swifter 18-metre cultivator and the Great Plains 18-metre seeder. So this will cover everything that we need. You know, when do grass, it won't do potatoes. We don't have to worry about that for, you know, potatoes for quite some time. And we're not going to need to worry about grass for a long time either. So this will cover all of our planting needs. And, you know, it's a nice, simple setup we can have on a clean field. You know, we can just go straight ahead and seed. You know, on a dirty field, we can use one of our big buds to pull this and cultivate the field while the second one follows it and seeds using the seeder, because they are the same working width. And then over here we have the combine that we are given as default in the game. This is all that's left over of the original equipment we get. The 7130 axial flow combine from Case and the 35-foot header that goes with it as well. Everything else is, you know, is gone. You know, we got rid of the Puma, we got rid of the spraying kit, the cultivator, the little 2-meter plow, which is completely useless on this map. 2 meters is just ridiculous. All of that's gone, including the little tipper trailer as well. You know, and the Horsch Pronto seeder, that's gone as well. We don't need that. So everything else is gone. This is the only part of the original equipment we got that has remained, and then you've obviously seen everything else that's been added in. So first thing we need to do is get started and plough one of our fields. So we're going to get our ploughs up and running, and I'm going to try and do things a little differently in terms of the way I work on fields as well. So I'm going to try tandem running things. So that means you know, an AI will be doing one thing and I'll be running alongside it, just behind it in the second tractor, and then I'll be sort of jumping and switching to keep the equipment running and operational at all times as best I can. So let's get this lined up, and then we'll go get the second big bud, and he'll grab the other plough, and between me and the AI we shall start ploughing the first of our 2 fields here, field 3. Get that ready for seeding. So I'm going to zoom out a bit, unfold the plough. This feels really narrow now. This plough, having used the 10-meter plough a lot over the last few days, this now feels really narrow. It just feels like it's a little bit broken. It's kind of weird. So used to seeing that 10-meter working width now. I'm hoping we may also get a little bit of multiplayer action on this farm as well. So from time to time I'm hoping that a couple of buddies of mine will be able to drop in and help out on a few sessions. We'll see how that goes. You know, it all depends on, you know, how stable the internet connection is. You know, obviously it's my farm, so I'm hosting, and I don't have the best internet. You know, so it's entirely possible that the lag may just be too difficult to overcome. We shall see. You know, we'll be doing a little test on that a little later this evening. But as I said, I will be trying to sort of run equipment alongside itself where possible as well. So this will be the first example of that. We're going to get the AI off and running. Let's zoom out a little bit so we can see where we're lining up. Look how narrow that working width looks now. It just looks tiny. And we're going to drop the plough, and we are going to drive alongside and just behind like this. And then when the big bud in front of us gets to the end of the line, I'll switch over vehicles, I'll reposition him, and get him started on the other end of the field coming back down, and then obviously we'll have somewhere to work to alongside him as well. And this way we can plough the field in half the time, as if it was just a single tractor working it. Or at least that is the plan anyway. So you guys have had this map available to you now for a good couple of days. What do you think of it? You know, are you enjoying it? Are you having some fun with it? Are you being crazy like me and actually trying to play it on hard legitimately? Or are you playing it on easy or medium and modding in a lot of money so that you can sort of just go crazy with it and really attack those big fields right from the start? You know, it's going to be interesting to see just how long it takes me to actually earn enough money to be able to buy another field. I mean, the cheapest one that's available to us is going to cost us 3 million. And there's plenty of equipment that we're going to need to add to our farm before that happens, I think. So it's a way off yet. You know, we've got 2 good-sized fields to work with. You know, obviously this is a really good-sized field. You can see it's a really long field, and it's pretty wide as well. It's not too bad. You know, we should get a really nice sort of return for our crop on this field. And then we have field 5 down on the bottom left, or just over there somewhere. As you watch the camera pan. And that field is pretty long as well, although it's quite narrow by comparison to this one. It's probably about half the width of this field, and not quite as long as well. So it's a decent size, but it's not massive. Okay, so going to hire a worker in this one. Now we're going to switch over to this big bud. See the plough bouncing up and down there. Take over the worker at the end, so he goes all the way to the end. There we go. Do the same with this one. Beautiful. I have to make sure I keep switching the right way. I keep switching to the wrong vehicle. It's a shame you can't actually program switching groups, so you can turn off the other vehicles and you only switch between the ones that you want to. That'll be quite a nice feature for either a later update to the game, or more likely Farming Sim 19, where you can actually choose which vehicles you switch to. Stop me from switching to the wrong ones all the time. Oh, need to raise the plough a bit there. So hopefully we can actually get a little bit wider than we did last on the last attempt. There we go, that looks pretty good. So hold this line. We should get a nice joining sort of seam there. Yeah, that's looking good. So obviously we're going to be doing this running tandem big buds here while we're ploughing. Going forward, eventually we will look to do that with seeding as well, and eventually, once we have enough money, with harvesting as well. Probably not with these 2 fields. I don't think these fields are maybe big enough to justify that. But certainly when we look to expand onto field 1, I will be looking to run 2 harvesters up and down the field in the same way they're running these 2 big buds. So follow one with an auger, and then drop back, pick up the one behind it, empty into that the auger with that one, then pull forward, go to the next one, and have a truck parked at each end of the field, so that I can unload the auger at the end of the pass and then reset the combines going down the opposite side of the field. Again, that way allowing the pipes to stick out and stop me from having to run over crops, and unload both combines as they go down the field. I'm hoping that will work quite well. Might be a bit problematic when it comes to doing something like maybe wheat or barley, but for, you know, we just simply might not have enough storage in our auger wagon. You know, might not hold. You know, it. You know, I honestly don't know whether a 53,000 litre capacity is going to be enough to run two combines up the, up one side of the field. It may well be that it's not enough, and that we have to either run just a single combine or get someone else to follow with a separate auger themselves, with the second player. I honestly don't know. These are things that we're going to find out as we progress. So there we go, just finish him off. Lift the plough. There's the other big bud. So now we'll, again, get him repositioned, set up and ready. Keeping an eye on that guy there, making sure he doesn't get too close to the edge. There we go, perfectly lined up. Start him off. Finish off that line there. Really nice. So by taking control as the combine, as the plough gets to the very end, we're eliminating those sort of leftover spots, those little triangles that we get when using this style of plough. And of course our plough width, effectively, because we're running tandem like this. Ooh, missed a spot just there. I'll have to go back and tidy that up afterwards. Because we're running tandem like this, yeah, I definitely could have... Look, he's missed another spot. I put him too close. Or too far away, sorry. He wasn't close enough. We'll finish... We'll tidy that line up. It's gonna happen all the way down the field. So we'll tidy that up at the end of the job. But by running this effectively, we actually have a 12.5 metre plough. Because we have two 6.2 metre ploughs, running kind of in tandem. So each pass up the field, we are, ploughing around 12.5 metres, which is pretty awesome, I think. And it's a little bit more realistic, I think, as well. We're aiming for that kind of more realistic kind of feel with this playthrough. So a bit more akin to how you would see a real sort of operation in America. So it'll be the same with combines. You regularly see on the large fields, in American farms, multiple combines running sort of in unison with each other. And that's the kind of feel that we're going to be trying to emulate on this map. Either me doing it myself, or if the internet permits, then with someone helping me as well. We're going to keep these episodes a little bit shorter as well. So these episodes are probably going to be around about 30 minutes or so, and it might not sound like much given how big these fields are and how long these jobs are going to take, but given that we are going to do some sort of editing, it's I think half an hour is going to be plenty. So we're going to jump ahead a little bit, and when you come back, we'll be finishing this field off. So don't go anywhere, and as I said, in just a few seconds we'll be back with this field pretty much finished. We're making some pretty good progress on the field here. Good 2/3 of it is done by now. Been plodding along for a little while. Got this big sort of patch in the middle still to do, and then once this is done, we're going to head over and work on field 5 down on the bottom there. You can see it just over there. There is our other field. So still a fair bit of ploughing to do, and we will need to tidy up a couple of little patches like that one just there at the end of the run on this particular field here. But so far the double running is working quite well. The real test of double running is going to be when we get to harvesting. That's going to be the real test. We may end up actually double running harvesters on this field as a test, just to sort of nail the technique down a little bit before we actually unleash it on one of the larger fields. As I say, it's going to be a little while before we get that, that far in, where we have enough money to buy another field. May have to take on a little bit of contract work to help raise some money for a second harvester. They're not the cheapest of things, and I would like to upgrade the one that we have to our larger tank. So definitely some, definitely a lot of work ahead of us to improve our equipment and upgrade what we currently have. So I'm going to carry on ploughing, and we'll be back very soon. One thing to be, aware of is, as we are sort of moving closer and closer to the centre of the field, we are closing on the tractor in front of us. We're moving shorter distances at the end of each pass to get started again. So while he has to go from the outside edge where he is now to the other outside edge, we travel on that inside edge to the new inside edge that he'll be creating for us. So each pass we make, we get a little bit closer. So sometimes you're going to need to just ease off a touch, let him pull ahead again, so you don't get too close. And that's what you have to do if you're juggling the AI like I am, so that you can have two vehicles running at once. Of course, if you're running with someone else, it's not a problem. You can get as close as you want, as long as you leave each other space to turn at the end of the row. Excuse me. We don't have that luxury, unfortunately, though, so it's AI juggling for us at the moment. So our plough line is almost done its job now. We just have a thin strip left over. We do have a couple of little spots, as I said, that we are going to need to clear up. So what we'll do is we'll send one tractor back up the field to finish the field off, while the other one sort of cleans up some of those gaps on the patches that we've already ploughed. Not far from being done now. Going forward, I will obviously be upgrading these to larger ploughs, but for now, just to get us started, to be able to have two of these and not completely, bankrupt myself, I'm just using these 6-meter Salfords. But ploughing will be much quicker going forward when we get access to those 10-meter ploughs. And although they need 550 horsepower and these tractors only have 500, it's not too bad. It's not a huge drop in power compared to what we need. Plus, because the ground is flat and there's no lumps and bumps or contours on the fields, it means that we can pull at around about 6 to 7 miles an hour as opposed to the usual 9. So we're only dropping a couple of miles per hour, going down the field. But being able to take that working width of 12-ish meters all the way up to 21 meters, it's going to speed ploughing up dramatically. We won't need to do it for a while. We're going to have 3 rounds of crop on this field and the other field as well before we need to plough these fields again. But it is obviously something there for the future. When we get round to that next round of ploughing, we may hopefully have enough money to be able to go ahead and do those upgrades. So let's start cleaning up some of these patches that we've missed. There's one right here. And we'll get this guy turned around and going back down the field again, just to fill in that gap that we've got left. There we go. So, let's see. Where are our patches? They're over there. We have a little one just to the side of us, actually. Let's see if I can see where that is. I think that's it, just there, actually. So let's raise the plough. Let's try and back up towards it. I think I can see it right here in front of me. Pretty sure this is it. Drop the plough. Run over that. There we go. Now we'll lift it up again. Now even though the plough is lifted, it does keep catching because we are using the ground response mod. It does keep catching as we're now technically on bumpy, uneven terrain thanks to these ploughed ridges. That's why we are still moving at only 9 miles an hour. See if folding the plough will improve that. Not really. So let's just open it back up again. It'll be easier as we actually get in line with the plough furrows a little bit, but we will still keep catching from time to time. So where is our next one? That's still a little way up the field yet. I'm actually going to get onto the grass so we can move up here quicker. There we go, that's better. So now I've just got to keep an eye out, and there it is, there's our first strip, just hit. Dropping the plough. And we're going to have problems all the way up the rest of this this pass. So we're just going to keep going in a straight line now and pick up the rest of that gap. You'll see it keep popping up intermittently in front of us. There it is, just to the left of our nose. You can see the line from in the cab, even clearer when we're back out in the overhead view like that. Got a big streak next to us as well. We'll have to come back down and clear that one up. And our second big bud, as you can see, is just finishing his pass at the top of the field now. There we go. Worker has completed his task. So there we go. This field is done. So I think it's time to wrap up the episode. Let me know in the comments, if you like this style of video where we sort of jump around a little bit within within the episode. Skip through some of the long parts to keep the action flowing a little bit, so a single job doesn't take forever. If you like seeing this style of video, then obviously let me know in the comments section. We may incorporate it into future future Let's Plays or existing Let's Plays alongside this one. I'm going to continue to sort of experiment with different styles of recording and footage for this particular series. Find something that works with the fields being as big as they are on here. As I say, your feedback is crucial, so you will help sort of shape how the content is put forward to you. If I'm doing something you don't like, then let me know, and we can look at maybe changing something. If you're enjoying the content, the way it's presented in this particular style, then obviously we will continue to do that. Just let me know in the down below area. Feed my comment section. So we're going to wrap up. I will do field 5 off camera as well, so when you come back in the next episode we'll be ready to jump straight in with cultivating and seeding. We'll also be fertilising before we do that as well. So that's what's coming up on the next episode. Please do like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Be sure to follow me on my Facebook page as well if you want to keep up to date with regular mod news and other information as well. Don't forget, you can also check out some of my other games as well. Flame in the Flood is the latest game I've launched on the channel. It's a cracking little network purchase. It's available on all formats. So check that one out. I think you'll like that one, guys. And I will look forward to catching you back on the farm very soon.